So the Hive Backed Dollar has paid out 20% APR since about April of 2022. The witnesses voted to lower that down to 15%. So it goes by the median amount for the top 20 witnesses plus one backup witness. And so now it's down to 15. And you can see the different votes on there. If you look at the voting for the witness nodes, some people are still at 20, some are at 12%, some are at 7, some are at 15. So the median now is set at, essentially is reset it to 15%. So I have various opinions on that. I liked it at 20% because that was kind of best in class. 15% is still best in class. It depending on where the market's at, as far as a bear market or bull market, it kind of has, you can speculate it has various different effects. You've a lot of times got to go through Hive to get the Hive Backed Dollar. And the Hive Backed Dollar is called that because essentially it is a debt against Hive. And the debt ratio is a little bit below 10% right now. So they have it set to basically if it got up to 30% debt level, that then there would be kind of an issue, and then it would, take away the APR that was being paid out or whatever. But the Hive price would have to essentially drop to like 5.7 cents. And right now it's around like 18 cents or so for Hive. Now, overall, I've been on like the Steem / Hive ecosystem. Hive is a fork of Steem. And I've been over there for over 8 years now, which is pretty insane that I've been in that ecosystem for that long. And in a lot of ways, it's the most well-formed ecosystem. There's games on there. You have the Hive engine that's sort of a second layer kind of built on top of Hive. And then you got these Hive engine tokens. And so people are playing various different games for that. Also, there's pegged assets for Doge, Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So you can kind of get back out to those ecosystems. Also the Binance Smart Chain. So, the whole ecosystem is actually pretty interesting. That you could earn the 20%, up until now it's popped down to 15%, but 15% APR, which is a lot better than, earning on a CD or various different other investment mechanisms. So, it's certainly been a great experiment of, interesting sort of ecosystem. The one thing that's been interesting to me is especially seeing like after Elon Musk bought Twitter, all the kind of freedom of speech, and he's calling out this, that, and the other. And I felt like that Hive and Steem and Blur is another fork. Those definitely had a great ability to sort of kind of be this chaperone for like freedom of speech. But I've noticed for myself, even when it's like I've put stuff that's slightly edgy up there, it doesn't resonate with that community. If I put any kind of like red pill content, it just doesn't seem to kind of catch that much. And my stuff's not, super kind of hardcore going into a bunch of political stuff or trying to expose certain things or reposting stuff that, some of this more aggressive kind of like journalism would do or something like that. I don't think it's real that edgy, but it just does not really resonate. And then I'll get actually better response if I just take pictures of like cats or dogs. And it's just very kind of lighthearted and just kind of fun. And I've noticed a lot of bloggers and a lot of content creators on the Hive and Steem ecosystem seem to have kind of gravitated in that form, just kind of nature shots and just kind of creating like a content mill of just kind of like non-polarizing, non-edgy content. That being said, I do think that type of ecosystem being decentralized and people running witness nodes, individuals running witness nodes all over the world does make a lot more sense. And it is its own kind of, it's the closest thing to having your own country as you could really kind of get, is having one of these blockchain ecosystems that is decentralized, that is, an autonomous organization, decentralized autonomous organization, and people are voting on different proposals and whether to, market the ecosystem or do more development or build this or that game on the ecosystem. I do think it is the closest kind of thing to having sort of your own country, I guess you could say. So it is very interesting. It's a very, very interesting sort of experiment, financial experiment, and just kind of platform experiment in general. A couple other things to report on. One of the things I noticed, so Tron is like number 9 on kind of like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and the volumes have really surged in the last few months and everything. And Hamster Combat was one of the things, and so I don't know if people are kind of chasing after the premise that they're going to end up with a big payout from like Hamster Combat and some of their stuff and happen on Tron. And Tron's essentially kind of the cryptocurrency of Telegram, and how all that integration is going to take place and what everybody's able to use it for will be interesting to see. But obviously, they kind of went backwards. They already had people sort of on the Telegram platform, and they've kind of rolled out Tron. Now it is alleged security, like a lot of this stuff. Another thing, Tron has performed very well, obviously, over the years. And especially like in the last year and a half, it's been steady up. And Justin Sun is sort of a polarizing figure in the ecosystem. Well, he owns an entity that's under his umbrella that's actually, taking over some of the relations doing with wrapped Bitcoin. And so different entities have adjusted from that. I guess MakerDAO is not going to be utilizing kind of like wrap Bitcoin to collateralize DAI. That's one of the things that they're sort of kind of taking that away because they don't trust Justin Sun, I guess. Now Justin Sun owns Steem and Incorporated as well, so that actually caused a fraction of that community, caused the Hive ecosystem, caused that fork. And then again, it's like any of this stuff. Certain people have their own ideas to do things different ways. And then also there was the fork, the Blurt fork. So you got Hive, Steem, Blurt, and they had DTube that broke away from Steem a long time ago for various different reasons. It wasn't just kind of philosophical or the way it worked, but the way the reward pool was and different things. It was kind of a different experiment because everything's liquid over at DTube. That being said, I guess keep that in mind. If you have wrapped Bitcoin and you don't trust Justin Sun, maybe you should maybe look into that further. And then if you were getting the payouts of 20% for the Hive Backed Dollar, that's maybe a reason it's dropped to 15%, so your payout might not be as much. And then on top of that, I think that Tron is something we can keep our eye on because it is performing well, and the trade volumes have went way up in the last couple months. So another thing, XRP, Ripple Labs, it seems like they are testing for a stable coin. So what their whole plan is with this stuff, this thing is still kind of mired in this SEC situation. It seems like they're kind of out of the woods with the 125 million extortion payment to the SEC, but in some respects they might not be out of the woods completely. People are acting like that the SEC could essentially appeal the decision, but from my understanding, I thought the whole thing was a settlement and they agreed on the 125 million, but this stuff just goes on and on, guys. Anyway, what are you guys buying? Were you in the Hive Backed Dollar? Are you in Tron? Are you in Ton? And are you buying XRP at the current state of this SEC situation? Follow me on all social media at Brian Phobos, YouTube, Instagram, Steam, Twitter, Hive, DTube, Blurt, everywhere.